We're talking about the Osun State governorship election. Murphy, one of the concerns people raised before this election was the issue of vote buying. And INEC specifically, made mention of its determination to tackle this menace and ensure that we do not have a repeat of what went on during the Ekiti governorship election. In spite of that, civil society organizations have said that vote buying actually still happened, but in a less brazen manner as it was during the Ekiti poll.
Yes, like you say, I said earlier that we are in a process and we're gradually growing on it. Like what has happened in Osun now, you could remember that if it was in the past, INEC would go ahead to declare a winner and let the other persons go to court, and such cases sometimes could last in court for as much as 6 months, 1 year and beyond, and in most cases we have found that situation where the wrong winners will enjoy all the paraphernalia of office for as long as possible before eventually the court will decide. And as we are progressing, we have discovered that is not actually helping the system. You can't declare a winner and let the other person go to court. If the person does not have the money to employ the services of SANS and all that, then he loses his case. And then we say we must progress, and now we have an INEC who has now decided to rather declare such elections inconclusive and reconduct rather than declare
you like that
a
process?
wrong. Sorry?
I mean, do you like that process?
Perfectly well. We cannot continue to give opportunities for to people to feast on illegalities, and as an INEC, an agency that is given the responsibility to conduct elections, has conducted the election that has been acknowledged by both local and international observers to be free and fair to a reasonable extent. The same INEC has said that based on SY reasons, this election has been declared inconclusive, and the same INEC has gone ahead under less than an hour or thereabout to also fix a date for a rerun. I don't think this is the best time for us to begin to cry foul. Of course, PDP as a party can always talk. It is their duty to cry foul, sing for sympathy and whatever, but that is not the issue. The point is that is INEC declaration of the election inconclusive, is it an aberration? The answer is no. INEC, the man spoke and the man just make reference to INEC rules. What we should patiently wait for is for Thursday to come, 27th of September to come, and we'll have a rerun and the winner will be declared. There are so many reasons why INEC declare elections inconclusive, and we're not going to sit down here and teach INEC how to go about their duties. Just like one of the callers mentioned, even if I didn't want to give myself the stress of going into what happened in Kogi, a similar situation happened in Kogi.
Where late were not exactly the same.
Where late Awudu was leading, but at that point somebody was leading in the election. Somebody was leading, and like even then, lawyers, there are so many lawyers who came on air, who went everywhere to protest against it, while some were in favor. So it's just natural.
I think we mentioned briefly earlier that the scenarios in Kogi and Osun are not exactly
we have
the
same
thing
Kogi
playing out.
And there's something they don't know, when people, why we call ourselves or sometimes lawyers, and that we don't speak outside what the law says. When people, so that's why sometimes when we call people, ordinary people, laymen, some of them will pick offense. Facts may not be the same. For a court to rule on issue, or the facts must be on all fours. That's why you can quote a court as, you say, this, my lord, there is a precedent in this matter. For a precedent to be taken, to be binding on any other matter, must be on all fours. The facts of the case, court must be interested in the facts of the case. If the facts of the case are not the same, court cannot view it, cannot see it as having a precedent or binding effect. The Kogi issue they're talking about, we know what transpired Kogi between now, how he died, why the elections were being announced, and all that, and where elections were not conducted. I said it here earlier that if elections were not conducted, it's a different issue. Something electoral materials could not get to certain areas on time or whatever. Election could not hold, which was what we are having in Nigeria before, in most places, election will not hold. Materials will arrive late, may not even arrive at all. Some people may not even vote. Some people will be disenfranchised. If you disenfranchise people and you prevent them from voting, you have to come back and conduct the election because they must vote. But if in the course of voting, the results were cancelled because there were irregularities, and they decided that these irregularities is like not in line with what will count as valid votes, then they are cancelled.
So we are waiting.
Like using to avoid votes. When we are like having issues, even presidential election, we have void votes that were cancelled by annex. I've actually been a returning officer. I've actually monitored the elections. I was participating fully. I've written about 7 books on democracy and rule of law and whatever. The Jega has been a guest. I mean, near and so Museum Center. So I'm sure because I'm a lawyer, I don't know about all this issue. I've monitored the elections. I've returned people. Once elections are void, it will be written there. Either they want to vote PDP, PD. I mean, in between, they could not know which one is PDP if they vote between the lines. Or some will just vote and vote outside the ballot box. So those elections are declared and looked at as void. And when they are void, they cannot count. You can't count them as you're counting elections.
All right,
the results are declared based on valid votes.
Okay, let's please have Murphy weigh in.
I am saying that there's no point to create these issues that are not necessary because it is your wish that INEC should declare somebody a winner.
It's not wish.
Does not necessarily mean so. INEC
Is it your wish for either of the candidates or any of the candidates to be declared winner?
My wish is for INEC to do the proper thing according to the engagement, their rules of engagement. It's not about whoever wins is the Osun. I didn't vote now because I'm not from Osun State, so the Osun people has voted.
But if you look at it from his own angle,
Bosse, please, it doesn't have to be from his own angle.
Please
now, please, Bosse, excuse me. Something happens, and we are saying the same INEC that conducted the election has fixed it. It was the same INEC
to do that if it is wrong. If they don't have all the powers, the blanket powers.
You cannot teach INEC how to go about their job. You can only go to court if you feel INEC has done anything contrary to the law. So you can go to court. But that you will sit down and think that INEC is going to declare a winner because you so wish that candidate must be declared moving wrong. I am saying that there are no issues here except that you want to create war. INEC has the responsibility to declare election. INEC has the responsibility to say based on certain issues, we are fixing a new date for the election, and if INEC fixes a new date, let us be patient and go for the election to be wrong.
Okay.
Wrong by who? Who determines when it's wrong? You go to court. You are not the court. You are not the court. Everyone is saying that we should not really raise issues here because there are no issues to be raised. INEC has fixed it.
Murphy.
Have a rerun election.
All right.
There are no issues here.
The issue that these things are like views.
Yeah, I want us to even let's look at another angle. I was talking about Salawu Kolawole, who was elected.
The last time I was on Radio Nigeria with I don't want to mention him, a well-known social analyst. We discussed this issue of vote buying. That was actually what informed the major issue we discussed at Radio One or whatever the article. The point is that I said it that they repeatedly that defaulters in election issues must be prosecuted. Somebody must go to jail. INEC must summon courage to liaise with security agencies to prosecute election offenders.
We saw a number of people paraded in the course of the election on Saturday.
People start going to prison because they committed electoral offenses. That should be deterred from engaging in such. But the problem we have is that people have been doing this and they've been getting away with it. Nobody has ever gone to prison for engaging in electoral malpractice, in engaging in snatching of ballot boxes, in doing all these things. And it's not good for democracy. I said INEC only voted partly, they voted 6 billion for security issues, and they voted partly 25 million for legal election matters, prosecution of election offenders. When I said look at 25 million to prosecute election offenders, and then 6 billion for security. And now this 6 billion you voted for security in your INEC budget, what is it going for?
Okay, as a roundup on the program today, for the Osun governorship election, INEC introduced the Braille system for persons who are visually impaired. Now there are calls by civil society organizations, concerned citizens, that this shouldn't just be for the Osun election. And the concern shouldn't just be for people who are visually impaired, but for all forms of disability, to ensure that persons living with disabilities can effectively participate in the election process. Murphy.
Well, I think we have to start from somewhere, and I think what they are asking for is just perfectly in order. Like I've always said, we have been behind all this while. These are things that if you want to compare Nigeria to other developed countries, you see that these are things they went through so many years back, and they are not talking about issues of ballot paper snatching, somebody having to tear results sheets and all that. But I keep saying, we are going to outgrow this aspect of it. And whatever INEC has done in Osun, I want to believe that they must be working seriously to extend it to the 36 states of the federation. Right, then on the closing note, I think I commend the Osun people. They have decided, they have spoken through their PVCs, and I also appeal to other states to emulate same.
All right, then your closing remarks, please, Joe.
Yeah, I appreciate the turnout of the people and the awareness, and then the refusal to be bought over, because that's the most crucial thing. People are beginning to appreciate the capacity and the power of their PVC, and to know that the future, their collective well-being is actually that PVC they have. No matter the amount of money being offered to you to mortgage it for your future, it's not enough. So some people minimize to the barest minimum what we saw in Ekiti in terms of vote buying and purchase. So we have to appreciate, and then the turnout is also something to be appreciated. And the INEC also, I'm not writing off INEC. If anybody should commend INEC, it should be me, because I've known INEC I've worked with them so closely and I know them. But what I'm saying is that there's always room for development, and they should not be intimidated. They should, if there's any reason for them to declare whatever they want to, they should declare, to take over. I was in a program, somebody was telling me that the money to prosecute offenses are so much. I said, that's why we have the courts, and that's why we have lawyers. If it is too much, then if you are preparing for election, build it into your budgets, because this is a profession that must eat from somewhere. So you can't shut them out and say nobody should go to court. Lawyers must eat. Judges are the policemen are there to prosecute.